It's me, Crystal P, the Beauty MP, also known as the Bedside Rescuer, here with another video. And for those of you who don't know me, I had the audacity to step out on faith and start my own business as a nurse. So I wanted to do a video today, and I will apologize. I should have done this video a long time ago, especially since my IV hydration video has done so well. And the second step to that, which I evolved to, is becoming an aesthetic nurse injector. And I know so many people are interested in how to become, and also how I became an aesthetics nurse. And I'm so sorry it took me this long to think, hey, my viewers might like to see this video. Speaking of viewers, while I remember, please go ahead and like and subscribe. So like this video, subscribe to this channel, and please leave me a comment. Let me know your feedback. If there's any other videos you want me to do, if there's any other questions you want me to answer, please let me know those things in the comments. I try to stay active and answer you guys' questions and help you in any way that I can. So my objective, what I love to do, why I'm here on YouTube making videos, is because I love telling or showing nurses and nurse practitioners how we can do other jobs outside of the hospital or clinic setting, in which we can make our own schedules, in which we can be independent and use the knowledge that we have and start our own businesses. So right now I am doing this video. If you watch another video that I did, which I'll probably put this one out first because I know it's more important, but I will be doing a video on where I am at, and I am actually at my hotel across the street from the beach, which is right over there, and where I am learning a new thing that I can kind of do on my own independently in between seeing my aesthetic patients. But anyways, that's not what this video is about. This video is how I became an aesthetic nurse injector without any prior experience or finding a job in a spa. So as you guys might know, if you're interested in being an aesthetic nurse injector, the main way people do it is to find a spa that will hire them. I hope it's not too loud outside. It's not catching all the noise outside. I'll try to talk louder. But so the main way that you become a nurse injector is to apply at a spa and get hired. Well, I just wasn't at a point in my life where I wanted to do that. I went back to nurse practitioner school, and I could not take on a third, fourth job at the time, and because usually they pay you a lower wage, which they should, because they are training you and giving you all their expertise. So I couldn't really fit that in. I applied at a couple places. I never got hired. So I kind of gave up the dream. What ended up happening is, when I was looking for a medical director for my IV hydration business, I, by the grace of God, found my medical director, who was a pediatrician. She also did aesthetics on the side, and she also, like me, shows other nurses how to get out of clinical bedside doctoring, and it's called Doctoring Differently. If anybody knows any doctors who want to get out of traditional medicine and do their own things, such as the things that I'm doing, her program is called Doctoring Differently. And I'm like that for nurses. I call myself the Bedside Rescuer. I want to rescue nurses from bedside nursing, because that is great for a time. It's definitely great to get your experience. I did 12 years or 11 and a half years ER. I now do 1 day a week in the cath lab because I do enjoy it, and I love the company that I work for. But I did not want to spend 3 12-hour shifts in the hospital. I just didn't want to do it anymore. So when she agreed to be my medical director for IV hydration, she was like, hey, why don't you try aesthetics? Like, you'd be perfect for it. And I was like, well, you know, that's a dream that I had, but I couldn't get hired at a spa and blah, blah, blah. And we both thought, well, now that I have a medical director, I really don't need to get hired in a spa, right? I can take classes and fund my own education in this, and take courses and start practicing. So that's what I did. When I was still part-time at my job gave very great benefits. So we can actually we had an allotment of education funds, and we can actually, some of these courses are CME, like Intro to Botox, Intro to Filler. They are CME, they give you CMEs and CEUs. So I was actually able to use money that I got from work to take extra classes and apply those to that. So look at all your resources that you have around you. So I took those resources, and I took an Intro to Botox and Filler class that was totally paid for by my job, and I started practicing on family and friends. And let me tell you, when you say that you know how to do Botox and filler, you will have family and friends flocking to you. I remember I had took just an intro course, and I posted like taking an intro course, and I had at least like 5-6 people who were willing to be my patient, willing to let me practice on them the next time I was doing a class, etc. So if you are having a hard time getting hired somewhere and you can find a medical director, which I have an ebook on how to find a medical director. There's lots of resources on how to find a medical director. You can find a medical director and start taking classes yourself and funding your education yourself and learning how to inject. So that is my non-conventional way of becoming an aesthetic nurse injector. I found a medical director, and then I started taking classes because you can take these classes on your own, right? But what happens is you can take these classes on your own, but in order to order the medication, you need a medical director. You need their number there. So I did not do this. I did not have my nurse practitioner license yet. I did this one. I was still an RN. And because I had the medical director, I was able to order the medication. And then I just started injecting and practicing on everyone that I could. And then once I felt confident enough, I injected like a friend, and then that friend would tell her family. So I would then go, and I was mobile. I was concierge at the time. So I would drive to people. I'd do lots of parties, 5-6 people, get them together, offer the person who put together the party a free service. And I would just get out there like that. And that's what I did all the way up until it was a point where I wanted to learn more and do more in my aesthetics practice. So I eventually had to rent out a room and get a location. So I was doing it concierge for quite a while. I had started, I think, around March, and then I had my baby in July. So that whole time in between, I was just injecting people. And I had people waiting for me when I got back from maternity leave. So you build up the following really quick when you start doing Botox and fillers. So that's what I did. And that's another way you can do it, because I know, like I said, it's hard to either get hired. Sometimes it's women of color, and that's another thing I'm doing in the industry. It's very hard to get hired, to get an opportunity, when people who own these spas and clinics don't look like us, and then they're hiring friends and family of theirs that they know, then that doesn't leave room for other of us to break into this industry, which I am doing lots of work. I have a page, it's called Black Injectors, in which I like to highlight and showcase Black injectors, and also for people of color to be able to look and see themselves see people who look like them getting treated, because a lot of times it's still taboo aesthetics in our culture. So there's a lot of education that has to be done. And when there's providers who don't look like you aren't as excited, or women of color aren't running to these clinics to get treated. But when they see someone who looks like me, they are very excited and they're very happy, because they have a sense of calm familiarity, and it just makes them kind of trust the process more. So I've been doing a lot of work trying to get more diversity and inclusion in the aesthetics field, because it's definitely needed for representation, and not just women of color, but different genders, different races, and all those types of things. Like, it just needs to be more inclusive. Okay, this isn't a one-size-fits-all community anymore, and we are breaking through it as women of color and being injectors, and also getting treatments. I want other people, women of color, to be able to enjoy these treatments and not think that is just for one specific group of men or women. It's for everybody. So anyways, if you have any questions on that, please let me know. I love to talk about all things aesthetics. So from the Botox and fillers, just to show you or give you guys an idea of other things that I do, from the Botox and fillers, I started doing that. I was able to do that mobile, but then I started getting into PDO threads, microneedling, which has been deemed another name, but you saw Kim Kardashian, she kind of made this type of facial popular. But we microneedle I use CBD serums, I use platelets, plasma, PRP, PRF. So there's so many different things you can do. fillers microneedling. I still do my IV hydration. And then now, if you guys watched the other video that I just did, I am adding in a little bit of veteran work with that. But there's so many things you can do to fund and supply your clinic and get it going. So don't be afraid to step out on there. If you are interested in starting your own med spa, let me know. I have resources for that, some great trainings on nurses who are training other nurses on how to start a full-blown med spa. I teach IV hydration. We do have IV hydration and aesthetics because once you get IV hydration set up, adding aesthetics really isn't that hard. Because like I said, you already have the medical director, you already have the business form. So adding aesthetics is just another profitable, very, very profitable. The return on investments in aesthetics is amazing. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Again, please subscribe to my channel so that this can get pushed out to more nurses, because like I said, my goal is to pull as nurses once we're tired and burnt out. There's nurses who want to stay in bedside, and I think we absolutely need them. But for the ones who want to get away from bedside and are burnt out, I have different resources, and I am trying to help pull us away from bedside because I think it's ingrained in us from nursing school. We train, we go to the hospital, and that's all they show us. But there's a world of different types of jobs that we can do with our brains, with our licenses. So anyways, like, subscribe, and I hope you guys are having a great day. Also, let me know if there's any other videos you want me to do in the comments. See you later.